So we just talked to the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who is revisiting, reinventing, redoing the march from Montgomery, Alabama to Selma, Alabama. The anniversary, March 7th, 1965, the anniversary of Bloody Sunday, when 600 marchers were met with billy clubs and tear gas and beaten bloody because they dared to say, we would like the right to vote. Which raises the issue of civil rights and hate crimes. Jacob Sullum is with us. He's senior editor at Reason Magazine, Reason.com, nationally syndicated columnist and author. His most recent book, Saying Yes in Defense of Drug Use. Really, Jacob, which drugs?
Which drugs?
Yeah.
I defend the principle that the morality of drug use does not hinge on the chemical involved. It hinges on how you use them in what context.
Oh, interesting.
And for what purpose.
Okay. I agree with you. So well, now that that's out of the way.
Let's argue about something.
Yeah, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this this piece that you wrote about this young man at Rutgers University who was his roommates set up his webcam to take pictures of him making out with another man and put them on the internet. And as a result of that, this young man killed himself. Now his roommate.
Let me just question a couple of parts of that narrative. He never put them on the internet. He monitored it from friends' room across the hall. He only saw a few seconds of them kissing.
And then he invited people to come by and watch.
And he later invited people to watch that video chat, but it never actually happened because his roommate unplugged the computer. And it's not clear why he killed himself. That is something that remains a bit of a mystery. We haven't seen any suicide note, if there is one. People speculated it must have been because of this incident, but that's not at all clear.
Okay, well, but that's the case that the prosecutors are making. That last Friday, Middlesex County Prosecutor Julia McClure made, and I would guess
she's not saying that it was on the internet because that's not true.
Okay, I stand corrected on that and acknowledge that.
By the way, and they're not. This is actually kind of crucial because this case would not have been brought had Tyler Clementi not killed himself. I think that's pretty clear. This guy would not be on trial but for that.
Well, that's because hate crime legislation always has to piggyback on a real crime.
Yes, except that he is not charged with causing the suicide or precipitating the suicide at all. But that whole incident hangs over this case, and in fact, this case would never have been brought had it not been for the suicide.
Well, that's because I don't think you can charge somebody with a crime and a suicide unless it's either assisting it or precipitating it, and arguably, this is a variation on the latter. What they're saying, the difference between a hate crime and a not hate crime is that hate crimes are crimes that are intended to intimidate a class of people as opposed to an individual. And that's the question that this jury is going to have to struggle with ultimately. And that, if my read of your article is right, is the question that you are submitting should not even be the question. Do I have that right?
Because what happens is inevitably in cases like this, you inquire into the defendant's beliefs and his opinions and things that he said about certain groups of people. So in this case, for example, they're talking about, how did Darun Rabi, that's the name of the defendant, how did he feel about gay people? Did he say bad things about them?
Right.
About them? Did he say, so you can be sure, by the way, so far nothing has emerged to indicate that he hated gay people in general or that he had something against gay people.
No, but you're absolutely right. This has to do with the state of mind. Are you aware of the difference between first-degree murder and second-degree murder or manslaughter or other types of murder?
See, that's a question of intent, which is different from a question of motivation. You can say that you deliberately committed the crime without necessarily inquiring into why you committed the crime. In this case, they're saying that the motive matters enough.
But that's not true.
Explain to me what the difference.
The difference between first-degree murder and second-degree murder, or first-degree murder and manslaughter, is intent. It's what is in your head, and that's the difference between a hate crime and a not hate crime. Is what's in your head. That's the difference between aggravated assault and petty assault.
Illustrate. If I kill somebody, and it's because I hate them personally, that's not a hate crime. But if I kill them because I hate them because they're black or because they're gay, then that is a hate crime.
No, not true.
In both cases, it's premeditated.
No, not true.
It's both intentional in both cases, but the motivation is different. That's what hate
No,
crime
that's
means.
not. You're misinterpreting. Jacob, you haven't read the statute. Then it's not. First of all, if you kill somebody and plan it in advance, it's first-degree murder. If you kill somebody on the spur of the moment, it's second-degree murder. Okay, so thinking actually is something that's considered when
I'm not saying it's not.
When you're making a charge. Okay. Secondly, if you kill somebody because you hate them because they're black, that or gay or whatever it may be, then that doesn't make it a hate crime in and of itself. It is doing it because they are black or gay or whatever it may be, female, with the intention of intimidating others like them. That makes it a hate crime. Hate crime. Replace the word hate crime with terrorism, and you will understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, I understand where you're going with this.
It's not just me; it's the people who wrote the laws.
In the New Jersey statute, there is reference to intimidation, but it's in this case, it's with the aim of intimidating the particular victim. In this case, Tyler Clemente. In the statutes in general, the way they work is that people are selected because of their membership in a particular group. That's the way it's phrased. The Jersey statute included. It says, if you select your victim because of their membership in these particular groups, that makes it a hate crime, and that doubles, in this case, the potential penalty. So it's a difference. Basically, you get five more years on the maximum sentence because of your beliefs, because of the beliefs that you express to other people. They are asking in this case, did Darun Ravi, express opinions about homosexuality? You can be sure that if he had ever, for example, endorsed the biblical view of homosexuality, that would be considered relevant. It would be introduced in his trial, and he might even be convicted on that basis, which means that he's essentially being given an extra 5 years in prison because of his opinion.
Was 9/11 a terrorist act?
Yes.
Okay. Because it was intended to intimidate us?
What makes it terror is that it's intended to sow terror, I guess. Yes.
Yes. So if this action by Darun Ravi was intended to intimidate because this kid was gay, is that terrorism?
No, it's not terrorism. It was
so when Osama bin Laden does it, it's terrorism. But when Darun Ravi does it, it's not.
That's the general rationale. Is yes, you're right. The reason what makes this special is that now all gay people will be fearful, not just this one particular victim.
That's my point.
Right? That there is that rationale, but the legal definition does not hinge on that. In other words, you can commit a hate crime that nobody ever hears about. You can commit a hate crime if you choose a victim that you think is Jewish and kill him on that basis, but it turns out he's not even Jewish.
But the reason for that is...
In that case, it does not sow terror, it does not intimidate people, but it's still considered a hate crime, and it all hinges
No, I understand. I understand your point, Jacob, but the reason why we have these laws and the reason why we enforce them the way we do is because there is a social impact. I mean, it's the reason why we give tax deductions to people who have mortgages and pay interest, is you want to encourage people to buy houses. In this case, you want to discourage people from terrorizing people in a particular group.
Right. I mean, that's certainly the motivation. You're right.
What's wrong with that?
The problem with that is that if there is any additional damage being done here, the damage is being done by this person's bigotry. It's not by the act.
Okay, so what's wrong with punishing him for that? If in first-degree murder, you punish somebody harder because they had some thoughts about the victim rather than some impulse. Versus manslaughter, where it was an accident. Right. I mean,
but you're confusing intent with motivation again. They're two different things. And what I'm saying is, if somebody hits me over the head with a baseball bat, I think he should be punished for that. I don't think he should be punished extra if he calls me a kike before he hits me over the head with a baseball bat. People should be punished for their actions, not for their beliefs, not for their opinions, not because of sentiments that they feel about certain groups of people.
Well, I guess that's where we're going to agree to disagree. Jacob Sullum, Reason.com. You can read his piece. It's titled The Tyler Clemente Case Shows How Hate Crime Laws Punish Opinion. Davi Darum's Thought Crimes. Jacob, thanks for dropping by.
Sure, thank you.
Good talking to you. We'll be back.